All right, welcome back. This is Business Plans That Work, third video, chapter 1, part 2, Understanding Yourself. In this video, we are talking about starting to understand our aspirations and ourselves as entrepreneurs. And we should ask ourselves 3 questions. What are my career goals? How does an entrepreneurial endeavor help me achieve these goals? And what kind of skills do I need to develop to be successful? Entrepreneurship isn't just about making money, although that often comes with it. It's often about achieving self-actualization or achieving immortality. Entrepreneurs view their ventures as their babies, and the businesses often outlive the entrepreneur himself. Many of the businesses are privately owned family businesses that are passed from generation to generation, like Coors Beer, Purdue Chicken, and the Lego Company are just a few examples. So what does it take to be successful? The first step is to assess what you want to achieve in the long run. We all have to work to support ourselves and our families, and entrepreneurship can be an attractive alternative to traditional jobs. But just as you set your goals in a traditional job, annual performance reviews, and so on, you also should set your goals for an entrepreneurial career. The goals should be both personal and professional, and you need to understand the trade-offs between the two. For example, many people claim that they are pursuing entrepreneurship to be their own boss. Entrepreneurs are far from independent and have to serve many masters and constituencies, including partners, investors, customers, suppliers, creditors, employees, families, and those involved in social and community obligations. Entrepreneurs, however, can make free choices of whether, when, and what they care to respond to. Moreover, it's extremely difficult and rare to build a business beyond $1 or $2 million in sales single-handedly, and thus the trade-off is that to be successful, you have to recognize who are the important stakeholders, although you do have the final say. Other people pursue entrepreneurship to set their own hours. The underlying implication is that you can work fewer than the standard 40 hours a week that you might have to work in a corporate job. The reality is that to start a successful growing venture, one that has the potential to become sustainable in an ongoing way, you probably will exceed 40 hours a week. The typical mantra for entrepreneurs is that they get to work any 80 hours a week they want. You must understand the trade-off going into an entrepreneurial career, because if you're surprised by the level of commitment required, you're more likely to just fail. So surprisingly, the primary motive that drives most people to the entrepreneurship isn't the opportunity to become incredibly wealthy. Entrepreneurs seeking high potential ventures are driven more by building enterprises and realizing long-term capital gains than by instant gratification through high salaries and perks. A sense of personal achievement and accomplishment, feeling in control of their own destinies, and realizing their visions and dreams are powerful motivators. Money is viewed as a tool and a way to keep score. If these motivations ring true to you, entrepreneurship may be a way to try and achieve your goals. It may be hard to envision how an entrepreneurial endeavor will help you achieve your goals unless you have been involved in previous startups. And business planning can help you visualize how entrepreneurship may help you achieve those goals. Business planning is nothing more than sophisticated scenario analysis. You will work through identifying the opportunity, understanding who your customers are, and figuring out how to reach that customer. Furthermore, you will see what can be if you succeed in implementing your vision. Business planning will help you imagine your future more clearly. You will have a sense of how the business might grow. Specifically, your financial pro forma statements will suggest the upside potential of a successful venture. Finally, business planning will help you identify what skills are necessary to implement the business successfully. You probably will not possess all of those skills. As was stated earlier, most successful ventures are launched by teams, meaning that others fill the gaps in your skills. However, you need enough skills to be a credible lead entrepreneur. You need to have something special, whether it's technical wizardry or business acumen, that can draw others to join you in your quest. One of the first market tests of all entrepreneurs confront is whether they can attract other core team members to join them. Again, the business plan will help you to define what attributes those people should possess. As we have worked with entrepreneurs over the years, we have noticed an internal drive that successful entrepreneurs possess. For that matter, it seems that people who are successful in any context possess certain attributes. One of the authors has pulled out 5 key ones that he shares with all the students and entrepreneurs he works with, called Zach's Star of Success. Zach's Star of Success contains 5 elements: passion, commitment, knowledge, energy, and network. The star progresses clockwise, starting with knowledge. Whether one is pursuing a career or a more traditional Fortune 500 career, or indeed any profession, the 5 points of success define the key attributes people need to develop or possess in order to succeed. So starting with knowledge, to be successful, people need knowledge. As the late Herbert Simon, Nobel Prize winner from Carnegie Mellon University, noted, it takes 10 years and 50,000 chunks of knowledge to become expert in any area. According to Simon, experts recognize patterns that can be transformed from one situation to another. Their unique ability to combine those patterns in creative ways gives them an advantage in any domain in which they participate. For example, an expert chess player identifies patterns based on the current board setup and knows what moves to make next. Likewise, expert entrepreneurs see patterns in the environment and identify combinations that allow them to enter and compete in a marketplace. It's not surprising then to see that many entrepreneurs launch businesses in domains where they have experience. For example, Jeff Hawkins and Donna Dubinsky worked together at Palm Computing, the company that developed the Palm Pilot. Hawkins and Dubinsky subsequently left and founded Handspring, a competitor that quickly gained market share. What happens if you don't have directly relevant experience? What if you are young or are changing industries? In such cases, it's critical to build a team to complement the entrepreneur's skill set. So next, after knowledge, therefore, comes the network. A powerful way to gain knowledge is through networking. The broader one's network is, the more knowledge one can tap. This may take the form of adding people to your team or building what is known as a virtual team. If we can think of the entrepreneurial process, many startups require external funding. Often that money comes from family members, friends, and angels, and these investors can add to your knowledge base, especially if you're strategically chosen an angel who has operating experience in your marketplace. Other members of the virtual team might include your accountant, your lawyer, your suppliers, and even customers. All of them add to your knowledge and can help in other ways as well. For instance, your investors may provide leads to customers, or your accountant and lawyer may provide leads to other investors. The key to success is a larger network. The more people you know, the greater the odds are that you can tap into the right knowledge source. To that end, entrepreneurs should have a goal of meeting 5 or more new people every week. Furthermore, you need to maintain contact with your network on both a personal and professional basis, and people within your network are much more apt to respond quickly when you contact them. On a professional basis, it's important for entrepreneurs to send a periodic newsletter detailing the state of their progress to all of the current potential stakeholders. This keeps you and your efforts fresh in the mind of your network and often spurs those people to act on your behalf. They might connect you with an investor or a customer without your directly soliciting their help. As you start this business planning process, talk to as many people as you can and keep them informed about your progress. Energy. Building knowledge and networking takes energy. As Dennis Kimbro, best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich, a Black Truth, told faculty, people make the 40-hour work week look like child's play. He later added, if your work is your play and your play is your work, you will never work a day in your life. Launching a business takes a tremendous amount of energy, and the typical entrepreneur can expect to work on average 60 hours a week or more. In reality, most entrepreneurs find that they never leave the job. Even when they're in bed or on vacation, entrepreneurs are thinking about the business, and the business planning process takes energy. A good plan takes 200 hours to complete, and that is just for the first working draft. This energy is somewhat self-sustaining if you also have the final 2 points on the star: commitment and passion. To sustain energy, One needs commitment because everyone will face difficult times. Launching a business is an emotional roller coaster. The high speeds are higher and the lows are lower, and they come at breakneck speed. If you're not committed to your opportunity, to your vision, it is all too easy to quit when the first low hits. And you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in your vision. Without that, the definitiveness of that purpose, you will abandon the venture when things look tough, and things will look tough at several points on the journey. Thus, you also need the final point to help sustain you. Passion. The last and most important point of the star is our passion. Returning to the self-actualization scheme, you need to know what drives you, what is your professional and personal passion. As Dennis Kimbro says, if nobody paid you, what would you do for free? If you're pursuing entrepreneurship only to make money, you will lack the commitment and energy to be successful. Before starting the business plan process, dig deep and find what motivates you, what fulfills you. In other words, define your passion and make sure your proposed business incorporates that passion. The point on the star represents a way of life for a successful entrepreneur. We urge you to consider those points and incorporate them into your life. The nature of opportunity. Once you understand your career and entrepreneurial goals as well as your passion, it's often easy to generate a list of several business ideas. However, not every idea, in fact most ideas, represent a viable opportunity. By an opportunity, we mean a business that can generate profits and provide attractive returns to the entrepreneurial team and the investors. Many failures can be attributed to the great enthusiasm for ideas that don't have opportunity potential. Therefore, it's imperative to assess the potential characteristics of the opportunity before launching into the business plan or starting the business. The simplest, most robust means of understanding your opportunity is the Timmins model. The Timmins model basics. So Jeffrey A. Timmins is one of the authors of this book, and he has a model. Sustainable success in creating a new venture is driven by a few central themes that dominate this highly dynamic entrepreneurial process. It's opportunity driven, it's driven by a lead entrepreneur and an entrepreneurial team. It's resource parsimonious and creative. It depends on the fit and balance amongst these factors. It is integrated and holistic. There are controllable components of the entrepreneurial process that can be assessed, influenced, and altered. Founders and investors focus on these forces during their careful due diligence process to analyze the risks and determine what changes can be made to improve a venture's chances of success, its capital requirements, the pace of growth, and other startup strategies. So, the Timmins model of the entrepreneurial process, Exhibit 1.1, there is an opportunity, there are the resources, and then there's the team. Between the opportunity and the resources, there is the business plan that fits and gaps. There's communication. Between the opportunity and the team, there is creativity. And between the resources and the team, there is leadership. So communication, creativity, and leadership. The creative part is the ambiguous part. You have to really, the team has to figure out how the opportunity has to be molded together. The leadership part is exogenous forces. And the founder kind of works to find a balance between all of these things, the resources, the opportunity, and the team, and has to do it in the context of the capital market and under some uncertainties. So let's go over these in a little bit more detail. Change the odds, fix it, shape it, mold it, make it. Fix it, shape it, mold it, make it. The driving forces underlying the creation of a successful new venture are illustrated, the ones I just spoke about, the opportunity, the resources, and the team. And the process starts with the opportunity, the money, the strategy, the networks, a team, or the business plan. Most genuine opportunities are much bigger than the talent or the capacity of the team or the initial resources available to the team. Right? So the idea or the concept or the opportunity is much bigger than what the team is and their capabilities, their skills, and their resources. So the role of the lead entrepreneur and the team is to juggle all these key elements in a changing environment. Think of a juggler bouncing up and down on a trampoline that is moving on a conveyor belt at an unpredictable speed and in directions while trying to keep all three balls in the air. That's the dynamic nature of an early stage startup, and the business plan provides the language and code for communicating the quality of the three driving forces of the Timmins model and their fit and balance. So the business plan tries to manage the opportunity, resources, and the team in a fit and balance. So Exhibit 1.1 depicts the entrepreneurial process in the Timmins model. The shape, size, and depth of the opportunity establishes the required shape, size, and depth of both the resources and the team. We have found that many people are a bit uncomfortable viewing the opportunity and the resources balanced somewhat precariously by the team. It's especially disconcerting to some because we show the three key elements of the entrepreneurial process as circles, making the balance appear tenuous. These reactions are justified, accurate, and realistic. The entrepreneurial process is dynamic. Those who recognize the risks manage the process better and garner a bigger return. The lead entrepreneur's job is simple enough. He must carry the deal by taking charge of the success equation. In this dynamic context, ambiguity and risks are your friend. Central to the homework, creative problem solving and strategizing and due diligence that lie ahead is analyzing the fits and gaps that exist in the venture. What is wrong with this opportunity? What is missing? What good news and favorable events can happen as well as adverse ones? What has to happen to make it attractive and a fit for me? What market, technology, competitive management, and financial risks can be reduced or eliminated? What can be changed to make this happen? Who can change it? What are the minimal resources necessary to grow the business the farthest? Is this the right team? By implication, if one can determine these answers and make the necessary changes by figuring out how to fill the gaps, improve the fit, and attract key players who add such value, the odds for success rise significantly. In essence, the entrepreneur's role is to manage and redefine the risk-reward equation. The opportunity. At the heart of the present process is the opportunity. Successful entrepreneurs and investors know that a good idea is not necessarily a good opportunity. In fact, for every 100 ideas presented to investors in the form of a business plan or proposal, usually only one or sometimes two or three ever get funded. Over 80% of those rejections occur in the first few minutes. Another 10 to 15% occur after investors have read the business plan carefully. Fewer than 10% attract enough interest to merit thorough due diligence and investigation over several weeks and even months. These are very slim odds, and would-be entrepreneurs chasing ideas that are going nowhere waste countless hours and days. An important skill, therefore, as an entrepreneur or as an investor is to be able to evaluate quickly whether serious potential exists and decide how much time and effort to invest. Exhibit 1.2 summarizes the most important characteristics of good opportunities: underlying market demand because of the value-added properties of the product or service, the market size, and 20% or more market growth potential. Let's review that again. Underlying market demand because of the value-added properties of the product or service, the market's size, and 20% or more growth potential. So demand, market size, and growth potential, which you will do when you figure out your TAM and you try to understand your SOM and SAM and CAGR. The economies of the business, particularly robust gross margins 40% or more, and free cash flow characteristics drives the value creation potential. In short, the greater the growth size, durability, and robustness of the gross and net margins, and the free cash flow, the greater the opportunity. The more imperfect the market, the greater the opportunity, the greater the rate of change, the discontinuities, and the chaos, the greater the opportunity. The greater the inconsistencies in an existing service and quality, and in lead times and lag times, and the greater the vacuums and the gaps in information and knowledge, the greater the opportunity. So, Exhibit 1.2, the entrepreneurial process is opportunity driven. Market demand is key ingredient in measuring an opportunity. Is customer payback less than 1 year? Do market share and growth potential equal 20% of annual growth? Are they durable? Is the customer reachable? Market structure and size emerging and or fragmented. $50 million or more market with a $1 billion potential. Proprietary barriers to entry. Margin analysis help differentiate an opportunity from an idea. Low cost provider, 40% gross margin, low capital requirement versus the competition. Break even in 1 or 2 years. If these kind of things are true, that you can break even quickly, you can keep good margins, if you can reach out to the customers easily, if you can get the customer to pay quickly, then these, and if there's no barriers from competitors, then these are things, they make good opportunity. Next, let's talk about resources. So creative and parsimonious. One of the most common misconceptions amongst untried entrepreneurs is that you have to have all the resources in one place, especially the money, to succeed in a venture. Thinking money first is a big mistake. Money follows high potential opportunities conceived of and led by a strong management team. Investors have bemoaned for years the fact that there is too much money chasing too few deals. In other words, there is a shortage of quality entrepreneurs and opportunities, not of the money. Successful entrepreneurs devise ingeniously creative and stingy strategies to the marshal and gain control of resources. Investors and successful entrepreneurs often say that one of the worst things that can happen to an entrepreneur is to have too much money too early. Bootstrapping is a way of life in entrepreneurial companies and can create a significant competitive advantage. Doing more with less is a powerful competitive weapon. Successful entrepreneurs try to minimize and control resources, not necessarily own them. Whether it is assets for the business, key people, the business plan, or startup and growth capital, they think cash last. Such strategies have a wondrous effect on the company in two ways. A discipline of leanness is established where everyone knows that every dollar counts through the firm. And the principle of conserve your equity, CYE, becomes a way to maximize shareholder value. So minimize and control versus maximize and own. Unleashing creativity, think cash last, financial resources, assets, people, and your business plan first. Resources. Okay. So now we're done with resources. Let's get over to the entrepreneurial team. There is little dispute today that the entrepreneurial team is a key ingredient in a higher potential venture. Investors are captivated by the creative brilliance of a company's head entrepreneur, a Mitch Kapor, a Steve Jobs, a Fred Smith, and bet on the superb track records of the management team working as a group. Venture capitalist John Doerr reaffirms that the father of American venture capital, General George Doriot's dictum. I prefer a grade A entrepreneur and a team with a grade B idea to a grade B team with a great grade A idea. Doerr stated, in the world today, there's plenty of technology, plenty of entrepreneurs, plenty of money, plenty of venture capital. What's in short supply is great teams. Your biggest challenge will be building a great team. The investor Arthur Rock articulated the importance of the team over a decade ago, putting it this way. If you can find good people, they can always change the product. Nearly every mistake I've made has been when I picked the wrong people, not the wrong idea. Finally, as we saw earlier, ventures with more than 20 employees and $2 million to $3 million in sales are much more likely to survive and prosper. In the vast majority of the cases, it's very difficult to grow beyond this point without a team of 2 or more key contributors. Exhibit 1.4 depicts the important aspects of the team. These teams invariably are formed and led by a very capable entrepreneurial leader whose track record exhibits both accomplishments and several qualities. The team must possess a pace setter and a culture creator. The lead entrepreneur is central to the team as both a player and a coach. The ability and skill in attracting other key management members and then building the team is one of the most valued capabilities investors look for. The founder, who becomes the leader, does so by building heroes in a team, and the leader adapts a philosophy that rewards success and supports honest failure, shares the wealth with those who help create it, and sets high standards for both the performance and conduct. So, speaking of team, here's the key points. An entrepreneurial leader learns and teaches faster and better, deals with adversity and is resilient, exhibits integrity, dependability, and honesty, builds entrepreneurial culture in the organization, and possesses the qualities identified in the Zach Star of Success. Let us quickly review that Zach Star of Success since we're on it. We started with knowledge, we went on to network, which required energy, which required commitment and passion. All right, so qualities of a team: relevant experience and track record, motivation to excel, commitment, determination, persistence, tolerance of risk, ambiguity, and uncertainty, creativity, team, locus of control, adaptability, opportunity, obsession, leadership, communication. All right, so importance of fit and balance. Moving on from team, how do we fit this opportunity, resources, and team together and get a balance? So, rounding out the model of the 3 driving forces is the concept of fit and balance between and among these forces. Note that the team is positioned at the bottom of the triangle in the Timmons model. Imagine the founder, the entrepreneurial leader of the venture, standing on a large ball, grasping the triangle over her head. The challenge is to balance the triangle without toppling off. This imagery is helpful in appreciating the balancing act, since the leader, the team, and the resources rarely match. When envisioning a company's future with using this imagery, the entrepreneur can ask herself, what pitfalls will I encounter to get to the next boundary of success? Will my current team be large enough? Or will we be over our heads if the company grows 30% over the next 2 years? Are my resources sufficient or too abundant? Vivid examples of failure to maintain a balance are everywhere, such as when a large companies throw too many resources at a weak, poorly defined opportunity. For example, Lucent Technologies' misplaced bets and slowness to react to bandwidth demand resulted in more than a 90% reduction in its market capitalization. The business plan helps you tie together the 3 spheres of the Timmons model. The planning process helps you shape the opportunity and understand its full potential. Then the lead entrepreneur has a sense of what other team members are needed to fill out the venture skill sets and what resources will be needed to execute the opportunity. Examine your idea. Does it have the markings of a strong opportunity? Scaling of the opportunity. Opportunities come in different sizes and shapes. Some opportunities are massive and may lead to entrepreneurial companies that change an industry, if not the world. For instance, roughly through the years of study, we have found that the largest opportunities occur in emerging or fragmented industries. Technologies such as internet, telecom, and biotech often create new emerging industries. Within these spaces, demand exceed supply, and multiple new entrants are racing to develop the dominant platform or structure. For example, the early days of the desktop computer saw hundreds of companies competing with their product offerings, and the DOS-based PCs became the dominant platform, with the Apple's operating system a distant second. All other PC platforms disappeared, as well as the companies that promoted them. We have seen similar races in the internet, telecom, and other tech areas. These races are often about market share and foreseeable profit. Emerging in industries often have attractive gross profit margins, allowing companies to grow and adapt their business models, even though the operating margins can be low or negative in the early years. As the dominant platforms develop, the industry transforms to a mature state and the gross margins decrease. Competition becomes more intense and it is more difficult for new ventures to enter successfully. Therefore, some of the best opportunities for new ventures are in emerging industries. Fragmented industries also provide strong opportunities. The fragmented industry is characterized by many small mom-and-pop companies, each with a narrow geographic focus. And consider Home Depot. Before its entrance into hardware, many mom-and-pop hardware shops could be found. In one of the author's hometown, just outside Boston, there were 3 hardware stores for a town with 12,000 residents. Today, only one remains, and it is affiliated with Ace Hardware. These large box stores, such as Home Depot, Walmart, Staples, have revolutionized retail by rolling up industries. Moving large volumes of product allows these ventures to earn large profits, even if their gross margins are less than might be experienced in emerging industries. The size and magnitude of these opportunities draw in a professional equity investors such as venture capitalists. An entrepreneur may end up with a lower percentage of the equity, but if all goes well, a much higher return. That being said, you may decide that a high potential venture is not for you. Your passion may reside in an opportunity that doesn't have the large upside discussed before. You may not have the skills to manage such an undertaking. You may be like the vast majority of American entrepreneurs pursuing a lifestyle opportunity. The difference between lifestyle and high potential ventures is a function of growth potential. Examples of lifestyle firms include single establishment restaurants, dry cleaners, and self-consultant businesses. Although lifestyle firms may not make you a billionaire, many can help you become a millionaire. In fact, owning a small business such as a dry cleaning has generated more millionaires than have high-flying internet startups. Furthermore, many lifestyle entrepreneurs transition their firms into foundation firms. As examples of this might be expanding beyond a single restaurant or 5 or more restaurants. The size of the opportunity has become larger as well as the potential returns. The size of the opportunity you wish to pursue is a function of your vision and career objectives, but if you're interested in larger opportunity, keep that in mind from the outset. This chapter has provided some background on entrepreneurship. You are about to embark on a journey that will have you joining the entrepreneurial revolution that is sweeping the country. As you begin the business planning process, keep in mind your goals and work to identify opportunities. The subsequent chapters will go into the pre-planning and the construction of the business plan in great detail. As you read the chapters, we will be tracking Lauren McLaughlin and her company Firefly Toys. Put yourself in her position. Do you think she has an opportunity? Would you shape it the same way she has? Is her planning process giving her the learning she will need to be successful? Every entrepreneur will reach different conclusions, but the planning process is designed to help you pull together the information you need to make strong decisions. And that is the end of Chapter 1 of Business Plans That Work by Jeffrey A. Timmons, Andrew Zacharakis, and Stefan Spinelli. And I am Aditya Mittal, who is reading this book to you. So thank you for listening, and I will join you in the next video for Chapter 2, which is before you start writing your plan, asking the right questions. Thank you.